Hello, Scorpio. Thank you for joining me. If you're a returning subscriber, welcome back. Don't forget to like and share. If you're new to the channel, I hope you enjoy it. It's a general reading. Please don't forget to like and subscribe so that others like yourselves can see the readings as well. I've already shuffled and laid out the cards, so let's start. So in the first house, we have lunar eclipse change. So your first house is everything to do with yourself, your physical body, your vitality, your self-oriented interests. It's also to do with what you project outwards to others. So if you have a very strong ascendant, then this would be in place for the first sort of 40 years of your life. After that, your sun sign starts to appear really quite strongly. So what you're projecting outwards is usually what other people see, so that's your observable characteristics, your personality, and so on. It's also, the first house is also about your personal independence, how you are making your way through the world as well. You know, what's going on in your daily life, your normal routines, and so on. So with lunar eclipse change coming in, it's indicating that there are changes occurring. So this could be physical changes. It could be actual physical changes to your body. Perhaps going through phases of some kind. But because it's a lunar card, it's going through the phases of the moon. So this indicates things like cycles in your life. It could also be your moods and your habits. And all of these need to be managed on a daily basis, particularly when you're in a relationship with somebody else close by. You will reflect and they will reflect back at you. So whatever you're projecting, they're going to also reflect back to you. So manage your moods, observe your habits, think about what you're doing in relation to others. And if those need adjustments, then so be it. This card can also be about changes in attitude, perception, and outlook as well. And this could be forced on you through some kind of upheaval or some kind of change or something that occurs where now all of a sudden there's a lot of introspection. You're now looking at yourself deeply, your habits, your moods, your outlook on life, your perception of things will have changed in some way because of this event, whatever has occurred. Or you could be going through a cycle. Perhaps a cycle is ending and another cycle is beginning. You could also be feeling incredibly sensitive at this time. Maybe memories are surfacing. Maybe a memory comes up to challenge you in some way. It could also be a revelation of some kind. Perhaps it's associated with your particular ethnic identity or where your family roots, because the moon can also rule family. Perhaps something comes out which changes your outlook on life in some way. As I said, it could also be physical changes. So this could be women's issues, or it could be other issues to do with women. Perhaps you're observing that in others. This can also bring about a change in eyesight as well. This card could also bring something to light for you. This could be a bubbling over of something. So it could be something that's been overlooked, or you just didn't acknowledge, or you just didn't deal with directly. Now it comes up front and center to be dealt with. So something comes up, and it's going to come up, even though you may be sort of subtly aware of it, it will come up with speed, and it will need to be dealt with then. But whatever it is that's coming for you, it's going to bring the new in. It's a necessary change that needs to be made. So you could also be, if you're in a significant relationship, it could be that the relationship is going to a new level. You kind of were thinking about it, you knew it might happen, but the speed of it would take you by surprise. Or you may need to transform this relationship in some way, whichever way it's going to be for you. There could be a sudden development of some kind as well, to do with others or within yourself. With this change coming in, it could wrap up within a 6-week period, or it could unfold over a 6-month period, because it's following the cycles of the moon. Yeah. Then in the second house, we have Neptune sacrifice. So your second house is your house of income, your money coming in. It's also the house of your self-worth and your value systems. So this is covering all forms of ownership as well, whatever you own, your possessions, and that's linked to your value systems. It's also about what you value in yourself and what you value in others, concepts that you like or perhaps don't like, and those need to be looked at periodically. and your issues around self-worth as well. So with this card coming in, it may indicate that from a self-worth point of view that you're perhaps sacrificing too much for something or too little for something. We're not saying that sacrifice has to be part of everyday life, but there are, depending on your makeup, your karmic history, and so on, there may be issues around that which you need to deal with. So it could be too much sacrifice or too little. In other words, you're not prepared to compromise on certain things. But it could also be that this is related to purely an income issue coming in. Perhaps there are things that you need to just do less of or do without in order to make yourself more comfortable. It could also be a boundaries issue. So you need to get clear on what your goals are. Be realistic about what your goals are in this house. You may be needing to make sacrifices for the greater good. Therefore, that is an ego issue. You need to address issues to do with your ego. Any fears, any illusions, any fantasies have to be done away with, because Neptune can bring in the illusions and the fantasies, right? So you don't see the realistic side of things because you're too caught up in the enchantment of a Neptune. It can throw a veil over things, so things just don't seem clear. So do everything you can to make things clear, all right? Stay grounded, especially when your path is unclear or you're facing confusing circumstances. Stay grounded and do everything you can to be realistic about your goals and stick to your boundaries. It could also be just purely Neptune's rays affecting you in a way which is all about imagination, inspiration, and the harnessing of your artistic abilities. And this can bring in additional income, right? So it could be something that you're moving into, or some kind of ability which you're now harnessing, and that's bringing in additional income for you. It could also be as I said, anything artistic. It could be also Neptune is indicated for filmmaking, or anything to do with film, music. Any of the arts is highly indicated with this card. So you could be, receiving additional income to do with that, or you are finding ways to create additional income through your hobbies and interests and so on, which comes from an artistic ability, which is going to be enhanced under the rays of Neptune. Neptune can also bring in escapist tendencies. So this is like just being unable to actually face reality or deal with certain issues. You just can't face them. It can bring up issues to do with addiction. So this is income coming in for you, which is being funneled into unhealthy addictions. That needs to be addressed. You may need to be funding medicines in some way for a change of lifestyle, or something that you need to do, some sort of health issue. Allergies could be coming up and they need to be dealt with. You need to funnel additional income into that as well to deal with it. So just see how this card comes in for you. Then in the third house, we have Libra I balance. So the third house is everything to do with communication, how you communicate, how you express yourself. So this is written, verbal, anything online which you're typing away, any kind of communication, how your body language, how you speak, just how you conduct yourself in general, your self-expression. It's also the house of documents and written things, contracts as well, anything written. It's also the house of short trips, short journeys, local trips. So with communication, it can be with anybody really. It can be on a wider public forum, so really dealing with the public. It can also be communication with certain family members, which would be cousins, siblings, aunts and uncles, or even neighbors may come in. So with Libra coming in I balance, it's exactly that. Libra is a very gracious sign. They like harmony. They like to go the middle path in all things. They can be incredibly charming. So that's what it's asking you to do, is to, if there's any kind of situation going on, or any kind of discussion you need to make, or anything written, any kind of self-expression, pour on the charm. Okay, that's going to be highlighted for you. Your negotiation skills are going to be highlighted. But in all cases, it's about balancing your needs and desires in conjunction with others. So with if it's to do with a relationship and perhaps you're going through, you're grappling with what you need to sacrifice or what you don't need to sacrifice, or balancing your own needs in association with others or another, you don't lose sight of what you need to do. You don't lose sight of your own needs, which need to be fulfilled. But there is compromise and balance required when it's in conjunction with others, okay? Partnership is highly indicated with this card. So you may just be finding that with whatever communicative situation you're in, or whatever it is that you want to say or do, or any kind of contractual documentation issue, it's sometimes good to team up with somebody else, team up with another, or form a partnership. It could be a romantic partnership or some other kind of partnership. So partnership or an alliance is highly indicated with this card. So linking up with another can be very beneficial. You could also be solving conflicts in some way. Libra is all about that. It's about negotiation. It's about bringing balance into something. You could be receiving mutual support for something that you want to do, or in some endeavor that you're involved in. You may need to also have a romantic overtone to what you are saying or doing, especially if it's in conjunction with a close person to yourself. Or it could just be, perhaps you're a writer, and, bringing romantic overtones in is going to be helpful for you at this time. But it's a very loving, charming, refined outlook, a romantic outlook, which doesn't have to be a love situation. Romance you can bring in by enhancing your environment in a romantic way. You may also be required to make a decision with this card coming in. This is something that you've been sitting on the fence for some time, and you need to make a decision now. Best make it, otherwise it will be made for you, and it may not be the outcome that you want. Legal issues might be finding resolution with this as well. This is a rules card. This is about following the rules. And you may also be having legal documents to be dealing with at this time with this card. But solving conflicts come in as well. So you can expect a resolution, and it could be very favorable for you as well. Also, relationships may deepen with this card. So with any one of those close relationships I mentioned, or it could be with someone else. But this is a very much a relationship card. It's a partnership card. It's an alliance card, and it's about balance and refinement. Then in the fourth house, we have Black Moon Lilith mystery. So the fourth house is your house of your home, your physical home. It's also the atmosphere in the home, the people in your home. But I feel with this card, I get the feeling that it's actually to do with also your relationship with your family life, your family history, your ancestry, your ethnic identity, where you come from, your foundation, your roots. So something could be coming out of that to be dealt with at this time. So this is very much a something under the surface, something lurking under the surface card. So it could be that something to do with your home, so you haven't got all the facts. Something needs to be done, but you haven't got all the facts yet. Something is not known, so you've just got to wait. You're in that pause period while you wait for things to develop. You could be waiting for something to happen, so take time to rest during that pause period. You could also need to stand firm in some way within your home environment. Or as I said, you could be seeing some sort of family situation or some sort of issue from your foundation, your roots, your family life, or your ancestry, which is coming up, something not known, which is now coming up. Or it could be a family secret, or some kind of fact which is now coming to light, which you weren't aware of, and now it comes to light. Or it could be that you are seeing darker emotional issues in your family tree, or in your family members, or within yourself, which is coming from linked directly back to a family member, something like that. So you could be seeing some sort of shadow emotions coming out either in yourself or in another, or you're tracking it in your family tree. But it's kind of this card brings up feelings of bitterness, anger, revenge, even or fears and angers and obsessive behavior, or feelings of rejection, or bitchiness even. Feelings of being overlooked. Perhaps you've not been the favorite in the family and you've been overlooked consistently, or something like that comes up. And it's about that. It's about you harboring deeper emotions and having no unhealthy outlook, or losing control of your emotions, or you're seeing it around you in some way through the people that are close to you in your family environment or in your ancestry, where deeper feelings are being expressed, and you're seeing it. It's all being laid out there at this time. So it's like undercurrents going on, and it suddenly comes out to be dealt with. It could be obsessive behavior even. So yeah, just be aware of that in this fourth house. Okay, Scorpio, I hope you enjoyed that. Please don't forget to like and share, or like and subscribe. And hope you have a great month. And I will see you next time. Take care.